road to the Big House. Mississippi Public Broadcasting and the Mississippi High School Activities Association present the MHSAA Cellular South Basketball Championships, sponsored by Cellular South.
Welcome back to the Big House. It's the boys 2A championship, and we're glad to have you back here for this afternoon's excitement. We've got 3 games to go. The boys 2A championship today. Special thanks to the MHSAA and Cellular South for helping us make the games possible on MPB. Now to Russ.
Thank you very much, Gene. And joining me is Cheyenne Trussell, and we've got the 2A state championship. And I think the phrase "all bets are off" is a really good one here, because you're going to have 2 teams to go up and down this floor. And if you've ever seen a game out on the playground, this might mimic one of those games.
Exactly, Russ. Both of these teams mirror each other. They both came in at number 3 seed, so technically on paper they shouldn't be here. So each of them has some big wins. They're very athletic and they're a fast-paced team.
So we're going to see a lot of defense, or is it just going to be a lot of offense in this basketball game?
A little of both. You know, coaches always stress defense, and speaking to both of the coaches, they said it's all about the defense and making the free throws, but you can rest assured those players are thinking offense.
And you were talking to the coaches earlier, and they were just so keyed up. I think they were more keyed up than the players were.
Yeah, they both are in their looking for their first state championship, and so I talked with them. You could tell they was kind of tight, and the players, the ones, seemed a little relaxed.
Well, it should be a good basketball game, and of course the 2A state championship has eluded both of these programs, so they're just excited to be here in Jackson. They've got a good crowd on hand tonight from both Scott Central and SV Marshall.
Yes, and I think it's a little pressure on Scott Central, because Forest, their neighbor, just won the championship, and so, hey, they don't want to be the only one to go back without one.
There you see the records of both clubs. They've got a lot of wins under their belts, but none would be bigger than today's. And let's go over the starting lineups here let's look see where these schools are. A lot of people don't know where SV Marshall is. Kind of toward the Delta. Scott Central down below Jackson. So that's where the schools are, and we are here at the Big House, and we'll take a timeout and be back with the starting lineups in a moment.
Mississippi Public Broadcasting's coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament is made possible in part by Catering by George's. Serving Central Mississippi for over 50 years, Catering by George's experienced staff can design, prepare, and serve the meal you want. Located at Reservoir Point in Madison, Catering by George's is a full-service facility overlooking the reservoir. Thanks, Catering by George's, for supporting coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament and Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
MPB, we'd like you to become a member. For a contribution of $70 or more, we'll send you our 2007 MPB t-shirt with colorful artwork that reflects both MPB and the state. For a gift of $120 or more, we're going to send you this combination pedometer and portable radio. You can see all the great pledge gifts when you go online to mpbonline.org or give us a call, 1-800-390-4388. Thanks for supporting MPB.
Welcome back to the Big House. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell, and we've got a very good 2A state championship game on tap. Let's take a look at the starting lineups now for both of these teams. Scott Central led by Darren Gray, the head coach, and SV Marshall by Milton Ray III. Benford, Brown, Turner, Jordan, and Washington for Marshall. Scott Central will go with Barlow, McKee. Dante Hall you're going to have to keep an eye on him. Justin Stringer and Michael Wells. And in this group of 10 starters, I think if you put them all on one baseline, they would race to the other end. Let's go to Kim Salter. Kim.
Jeff Alford, the Associate Chancellor for University of Mississippi, is here to tell us a little bit about what's going on his campus right now. I understand great things are happening.
These are very exciting times at Ole Miss. The word that you hear on campus most often now is the word momentum. For 11 years now, we've had steadily increasing enrollments. Our National Merit Scholars are up to 43 this year, which ranks us in about the top 30 of universities in America. $265 million worth of construction in the last 10 years. It's an exciting time to be at Ole Miss.
I I understand there's some awards, great things happening in terms of the coaches as well. Can you fill us in?
Well, we've done very well athletically in the last year as well. Of course, our basketball team tied for the Western Division Conference Championship in the SEC. Our brand new head basketball coach was named the SEC Coach of the Year. Our baseball team is playing now and ranked in the top 20. Our tennis team is playing and ranked in the top 10 in America. So, again, lots of excitement.
Well, we thank you very much for your time and for the good information about the school. Good luck to you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kim, and we're ready to tip it off and play ball. Marshall will be in maroon and white, Scott Central in white and blue, and we are ready to go. The tip is controlled by Scott Central. Rebels will put it on the floor first. SB Marshall will go with a, looks like a zone defense.
That was surprising. He said that if you see SB Marshall run a man, that's their last resort, and they're probably in trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what, whatever it is, it works for them as the Rebels throw the basketball away. And now here come the Tigers.
Look for him to run a lot of motion. He likes for everybody to try to get their hands on the ball.
Bartholomew Brown. Here's the pass, goes inside on the blocks. It's a block from behind by the Rebels. And here come the Scott Central Rebels now. The turnaround shot from the free throw line is up and good by Kenneth Barlow. And the Rebels quickly draw first.
Look for Scott Central to run a lot of man. Right now they're in a little zone, but he said they love to run man.
Bartholomew Brown will quarterback this team from the point guard position for SB Marshall. They want to go inside. They do, and it gets away. And stepping out of bounds with it is Jerome Jordan.
On the first couple of trips down, you can see that Marshall is trying to establish the inside game.
So here come the Rebels now. They lead it 2-0. Just underway from the big house. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell. Glad to have you with us today on Mississippi Public Broadcasting all across the state of Mississippi. Here's the drive by Dante Hall. Shot taken for three is, oh my goodness. A three ball by Kenneth Barlow.
You don't anticipate him shooting that far out. Against, of course, Marshall, you're going to make him hit a couple before you can test it.
There's the pass, goes inside, knocked away by the Rebels. The Rebels are off and running. Dante Hall, he feeds underneath. There's the bucket. It's up and in by Michael Wells.
Get a timeout.
And SB Marshall says we need to talk, and we need to talk right now. 7-0, Scott Central leading. We'll take a timeout and be back with more from the big house in a moment.
If you're interested in law enforcement, think about a career with the Mississippi Highway Patrol. Officers of the Mississippi Highway Patrol enforce rules of the road, conduct criminal investigations, and handle other important assignments. Recruitment of qualified men and women is underway now. At MHP, training's top-notch and pay and benefits are better than ever. To learn more, call the Mississippi Highway Patrol.
For more information, call the Highway Patrol's recruitment office at 601-933-2135.
The MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament is made possible through support by Cellular South, a proud sponsor of the Cellular South Game Plan, helping to prepare Mississippi high school athletes meet the challenges of college academics. A sponsor of the Cellular South Outstanding Players Awards, recognizing the state's top collegiate athletes through the Connerly Trophy for football, the Howell Trophy for basketball, and the Ferris Trophy for baseball. Cellular South, promoting excellence in Mississippi athletics.
Welcome back to the big house. 7-0 Scott Central. Hey, if you want your own DVD copy of this game or any of the MHSAA Cellular South State Championship games, log on to mpbonline.org. Each game is just $24.95. Order your copy now by logging on to mpbonline.org. You are definitely going to want a copy of this one.
There's no doubt about it.
Here's Bartholomew Brown now.
I think Coach Ray had got a much-needed timeout to try to settle the squad down.
Well, what's Marshall got to do here, Cheyenne?
They got to play within their game. It's much too early to panic, and they got some high percentage shots, just hadn't been able to make them.
There's a whistle and a blocking foul going to be assessed as Mikael Washington started to drive and was fouled on the side. And he will inbound the ball now for the Tigers. Scott Central leading 7-0 here in the early going. It's been hot shooting for the Rebels that got him this lead. Tigers with the basketball. Shot on the baseline is rims out, but the rebound stuck back up and in by Jerome Jordan. So Jordan with the bucket. And now the Rebels will look at some pressure. And the ball knocked away and picked up. Here's Turner. He stole the basketball and gives to Bradford. Terrence Bradford gives now to Bartholomew Brown on the left wing. He wants to go inside. The ball knocked away by the Rebels. Here comes Kenneth Barlow. Barlow has the ball knocked away, but picked up there by the Rebels. He shot for three on the way. Is good. Kendrick McGree with a three ball. And it's now 10-2. Scott Central on top. Oh, they take the shot away. Good defense by the Rebels. Here's the three ball put up. No good. Control. That ball put up by Washington. And now the three ball put up. No good by Benford.
Just a little out of sync right now for SB Marshall.
Rebels with the basketball. Shot on the way for three. It's good. Justin Stringer with a three. And it's 13-2.
They're going to have to contest some of those perimeter shots.
Benford with the basketball now. Benford on the drive. Haynes shoots. Misses. Rebound. Scott Central. Michael Wells pulls it down off the glass. And here come the Rebels now. Barlow had the ball knocked out in the air. And the ball put up. Missed. Washington misses the layup. Now, are they playing within their game or are they playing out of control right now?
Yeah. They seem a little out of control. However, they're accustomed to this pace.
Rebels with the basketball, the drive, and the whistle and a foul called on the floor as Kendrick McGee was trying to take it strong to the hole. There's a good picture of him. Bartholomew Brown on the floor, and he will be whistled for the foul. And wholesale substitution coming in for SB Marshall. They play a lot of kids.
They do, and I'm sure the Coach Ray want to get his starters over there and try to settle them down.
Clifton Robinson checks in for SB Marshall. And the ball inside, shot put up is good, and a foul called on Clifton Robinson, and going to the free throw line will be Wells for a possible three-point play.
You know, Wells also signed a scholarship with the Alcorn State University.
I can believe that. Boy, he is a good-looking youngster, isn't he?
34, Michael Wells.
He can make it a 16-2 ball game with a free throw. And we've still got a little under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Misses it. Now we get a lane violation?
Lane violation.
So he'll get another crack at the free throw. Takes his time. It takes a lot of time. And rims out. So now the Tigers will bring it down. And there is ball being handled by Kenneth Green. Green wants the baseline. Hangs. Block. Michael Wells said, get that out of here.
I was asking the coaches, you had in adversity this year. And, of course, Coach Gray was saying that he had to get some attitude in check early on. It wasn't bad attitude, but team attitude.
Well, there's a block. That's a smart attitude right there. And we'll take a timeout as a timeout on the floor. 15-2. Scott Central leading. We'll be back.
Mississippi Public Broadcasting's coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament is made possible in part by Hamill's Home Cookin'. Hamill's, providing catering, buffet, and carry-out dining since 1977, and voted Mississippi's favorite down-home restaurant. Located at 480 Magnolia Street in Madison, Mississippi, Hamill's Home Cookin' comes from generations of Southern cooks. Thanks, Hamill's Restaurant, for supporting coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament and Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
I decline to accept the end of man. It is easy enough to say that man is immortal simply because he will endure. I refuse to accept this, not because he alone among creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail.
Welcome back to the Big House. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trustle. Cheyenne, how do you win high school basketball games?
Being consistent and being able to score. Right now, SB Marshall's a little out of sync, and I tell you, look at the stats for the team. You got Scott Central 6 for 6 from the field.
That would win you a lot of games.
Yes, and 3 for 3 from three-point. I tell you.
All right, inbounds pass. Shot taken for 3 is up, no good, and again the rebound comes down to Michael Wells. Wells gives to Barlow. Barlow will come back out at the top of the key. Finds Kendrick McGee. Here's the drive and whistle and a foul. They're going to call it's going to be Dante Hall. Going to be picking up. Mississippi Public Broadcasting wishes to thank Penn's Restaurant and Catering, Catering by George's, and Hamels for home cooking for their support in their basketball coverage here at the tournament. And also a big, big thanks to the folks at the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. And here we go. Both of those folks combining. All right, here's a whistle and a foul called underneath, a pushing foul. Mississippi Public Broadcasting's coverage of the MHSAA Sailor South State Basketball Tournaments made possible in part by the support and contributions of Comcast Cable and Mississippi Department of Public Safety. All right, here are the SB Marshall Tigers on the attack now. The turnaround from the baseline. Nope, it won't go. Michael Wells quickly back the other way and scores. That is Kendrick McGee with a hoop, and right now Scott Central is just too fast.
It's early in the game, but it's getting into a pretty critical stage of the game also.
SB Marshall on the attack. And here is the Tigers. Drive by Benford. Benford in the lane, had the ball knocked away, picks it back up and puts it in.
SB needed that basket. SB Marshall's a pretty good team. They beat the last year defending champ Oklahoma last week, so they proved that they can play with a good team.
Scott Central on the attack now with 2:05 to go in the first quarter. The drive, the shot, it's missed and picked back up and put in by Barlow. He now has 5 points in the game, and it's a 19-4 basketball game. Scott Central.
Scott Central is the more aggressive.
Here's the drive by Benford. Benford dumps it off. Benford looking outside. Finds Kenneth Green. Back to Benford. The drive by Benford. He'll put it up. It will not go. Rebound put back up. It will not go. And the rebound comes down to Kenneth Barlow. Barlow will bring it up. Barlow right down the middle, dumps it off, slammed it. Wells with authority. High percentage shot.
Right
21-4.
Yeah, the execution from Scott Central right now, you couldn't ask for anything more as a coach. The SB Marshall just hoping that you could execute.
And the ball stolen by Scott Central. Here's Dante Hall, puts it up. No, it won't go. He'll go to the free throw line. Before that shot, statistician Brian Eubank telling me that the Rebels were 9 of 10 from the floor. That will win an awful lot of games. And Dante Hall will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. It'll be his first appearance at the free throw line today.
Keep an eye. It looked like he may have tweaked his ankle just a little when he came down.
Misses the first free throw. That's the only thing they've missed in this game. And checking back in for SB Marshall now is number 20. Rhodes checks back in. Windrich Rhodes back in the ballgame now for SB Marshall. Hall's free throw good. So he got 1 for 2.
Russ, this is going to be a test for SB Marshall. They probably hadn't been in a situation like this all year long.
Being behind like this?
Yes.
They're down 22-4. They've got the ball. 45 seconds to go in the first. Tigers just can't get anything going inside against this Rebel defense. Ball knocked away by the Rebels. Here's the lead pass. Slam. Kenneth Barlow. They're putting on a clinic. 24-4. And the Tigers have no answers right now. Pass inside. Now they'll go for 3. Partially blocked. Pick back up. That is blocked and a foul call.
Right now, Scott Central is contesting every shot that SB Marshall is taking.
Did you see how high Kendrick McGee got on that shot?
He's exceptional.
He's 5'7", and he got up there and partially blocked the shot.
And he plays defensive back for the football team.
Here's Dennis Weatherall at the free throw line. First one up good. Well, that breaks the scoring drought for SB Marshall. 24-5. And misses the second one. Rebound is pulled down by Barlow. Nice concentration, but a traveling violation. Charge to Kendrick McGee. So now SB Marshall play at the length of the floor. With 7 seconds to go, they don't look like they're in much of a hurry. Interesting. There's a three-pointer put up and is missed by Benford. And we'll end it 24-6 here after 1. And let's go down to Kim Salter. Kim?
Thank you very much, Russ. I have with me from Scott Central. First of all, I have their principal, who, this is a good year for you to come on board. This is her first year here. This is Dr. Janet McLinn. Tell me, how's it feel being a new principal with the team all the way here?
Oh, it is so exciting. It's wonderful to see our boys thinking together and working as a team. It's been great for our community and our school.
Well, speaking of community, I also have with us the superintendent of schools. This is Mr. Frank McCurdy. Now, I know it's done great things for the morale. Tell me a little bit about the community.
We're so excited for Coach Gray and for his entire ball team. This is just an excellent thing for our community and this excellent score. We're so proud of it, and thank you for allowing us to be on TV today and for all you're doing for education in Mississippi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and to Cellular South for making it possible, too. Thank you very much, Russ. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. And, you don't have to wonder why as you take a look at the replay here. High percentage shots like that one. And that's why Scott Central shooting 90% from the floor. Now, eventually, that's going to cool off, but SB Marshall only hitting 13%.
Yeah, and you can't win the big games like that. In talking with Coach Gray from Scott Central, he had told me, he said, hey, my guys have a no-quit attitude. And they displaying that early on.
Tigers with the ball now. Bartholomew Brown will be picked up by Kendrick McGee. And here we go. Pass on the left side as the Tigers can't get anything inside Cheyenne. No one posting up. Here's Benford. Turns, gives, and now they'll pitch it back outside. Now they'll go inside. Shot put up. Nope, won't go. Rebound put up. Nope. And a foul call. Now that time they had to create their own inside play.
And if you're looking at it from an offensive standpoint, SB Marshall, they was kind of standing around. When you're playing man-to-man, you got to get some motion going, pick screen.
Boy, Kenneth Barlow picks up his third foul of this game already. And we're just underway here in the second. Free throw off the iron, no good. And the free throw woes continue. The first substitution for Scott Central comes in the ball game. This is Jerome Jordan at the free throw line. And he hits it. 24-6. Of course, it's hard to get back in a ball game when you're trading 2s for 1s and sometimes 3 for 1.
Right. You have to hope that the momentum kind of sway if you're SB Marshall.
Well, they're going to come with a trap, and they will foul Dante Hall. And so we'll play it on the side. Catch the excitement of the Cellular South Bailey Howell Trophy presentation live right here on MPB Monday, March the 26th at 7 p.m. See who's going to be selected as the state's best collegiate basketball player live from the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame right here on MPB. Here's a shot on the way. It's no good. And the whistle and a foul called. Scott Central are just hitting the offensive glass hard.
They're attacking the offensive board, the defensive board. They want every loose ball.
That is the third foul on Bartholomew Brown, so he'll take a seat for the Tigers. And coming in to replace him is Kentress Baker. There's a trap and a whistle and a timeout called by Marshall because they were trapped over there. Timeout on the floor with your score, 24-6. Scott Central will take a timeout with them. Back with more in a moment.
Mississippi Public Broadcasting's coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South Basketball Tournament is made possible in part by Penn's Restaurants and Catering. Since 1967, Penn's Restaurants and Catering have served Mississippi pond-raised catfish, prepared hot and fresh, on-site for groups of 50 to 5,000. With 14 locations in central Mississippi, Penn's Restaurants and Catering is more than a restaurant, it's a tradition. Thanks, Penn's Restaurant and Catering, for supporting coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Tournament and Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
The dogs are red hot at Scottsfield. Ruby Hall had a ball. Friends you know hanging out at the depot. So step on into tomorrow. Step on into tomorrow.
24-6 your score. Scott Central leading. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell. It has been all Rebels in the inbounds pass into the Rebels, Michael Wells. Scott Central now on the offensive side. Here's Dante Hall. Hall puts it on the floor, drives, dumps it off, whistle, and an offensive foul going to be charged to Dante Hall.
Well, it's a good chance for SB to hopefully kind of sway things back their way. You know, Russ is still a long ways to go in this game, and you can't get it all back at once. They got to slowly, kind of like Lanier did on yesterday at the half, to slowly get back into it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, Cheyenne. Lanier was down 10 in that ball game in the second half and came back and won it.
Exactly. They got to have something positive to happen to get their confidence back there.
Tigers with the basketball now. And they try to get something going down in the paint if they can. Here's the shot. Is up the glass. It's good. That's Washington for two. That's the first field goal from that area for the Tigers. 24-8. Ball picked off. And the shot is taken away and knocked out of bounds by Dante Hall. That's getting back quickly.
That's getting back quick, and I think if he really wanted to lay it up, he could have. He was getting his steps ready to try to have a slam.
Well, with as quick as Scott Central is, I'd be wondering where they are, too. Inbounding it will be Terrence Bradford for the Tigers, and does. Williams back over to Bedford. Bradford now will give to the Tigers. You know, it would behoove the Tigers to try to slow this game down some. What do you think?
Yes, and take advantage while Kenny Barlow is sitting on the sideline.
Barlow down with 3 fouls. Bradford inside, ball knocked away, scramble for it, jump ball called, possession arrow, Rebels. Well, you mentioned it a moment ago, they're scrapping for every loose ball.
Every ball, and as a big man, you want to keep the ball up high. When you bring it down to your waist on the floor like you just saw, now you're playing small.
Dante Hall will give to Kendrick McGee. Now to Wells. Wells has the ball picked off. Tigers 2 back-to-back steals. Shot blocked. Whoa. Here's Hall. Dumps it off. And the ball got away from him out of bounds. Now, is that a case of going too fast right there?
It is, and One thing that Coach Ray wanted to for SB Marshall, he said, we got to stop their transition baskets. He said, when they're in transition, they're deadly. And, of course, we've been able to see that here. They want to play a half-court game.
Yeah, but you got to catch them in transition first. Tigers on the attack now. Washington over to Bradford. Bradford now bats pass inside to Jerome Jordan. Shot taken for three is on the way, and it's good by Washington. He now has 5 points in a game.
Like they slowly finding their rhythm.
Rebels with the basketball. Dante Hall going to be trapped, and he's over and back. Now, that's a really good trap by SB Marshall.
Yeah, he stepped on the line, and, of course, Coach Gray is going to get a timeout to try to settle his squad now.
5:02 to go in the first half of play. 24-11. Scott Central leading. We'll take a timeout. Back for more in a moment.
Mom, the future's here! The future's here!
Good evening. At 9:17 this morning, the future arrived, years earlier than predicted. The future. What is it?
High-speed internet, faster downloads.
It's a video mail.
I mean, until the aliens get here, I'm happy with the, with the high def.
The future helps us better understand the past.
Documentaries on demand, so forth.
Welcome back to the Big House. You see the score, 24-11, and the Rebels from Scott Central have owned things there in the first half. They're still shooting 83% from the floor, and lead it by a score of 24-11. And with 5:02 left to go, I'd like to remind you that you can watch MPB for an encore presentation of Bill Cosby. Family call-out session Thursday, April the 12th at 8 p.m. Taped before a live audience in the Delta. Cosby addresses the challenges facing today's African-American families. For more information, log on to mpbonline.org. Excuse me.
That's the one thing they didn't want coming out of a timeout was a turnover like that, but at least they get more movement in the offense. I'm talking about SB Marshall. If you're Scott Central, you're trying to find some offense with Barlow sitting on the bench.
They have kind of slowed things down. The Tigers knock it out of bounds in the person of Washington. 10 of 12 from the floor are the Rebels in this game. That's about as good as it gets, unless you're perfect on the day, which they were for the longest time. Kendrick McGee with the basketball over to Dante Hall. All right, what defenses are the Tigers throwing at them right now?
Oh, they still staying in that zone. They just playing a matchup zone, which appears to be a man, but if you notice, they always keep them throwing in the box.
Let them get pretty physical out there. There comes the trap. And again, the trap works.
Yeah, that's pressure twice that they've had to step on the line.
Well, I'll tell you, the Coach Milton has got to be pleased with his trap. It's caused 3 turnovers back to back to back.
It is, and it seems like their defense is helping them pick up their offensive game.
A little over 4 minutes to play in the first half. Bradford takes the ball at the elbow, backs away. Bounce pass on the left side to Washington. Back over to Bradford. Now they'll go inside. He gets away from Washington and out of bounds. Hit him right. Looked like it might have hit him in the chin. 8 turnovers for SB Marshall in this game so far.
SB trying to pick up and put the pressure when they get to half court.
The ball knocked away and picked up again and stolen back by the Rebels, and a foul going to be called.
Foul, Tigers, number 3, Kendrick Baker, first personal.
Kendrick Baker picks up the foul. That is the 6th team foul on the Tigers. So Cheyenne, on the next foul, they're going to send the Rebels to the free throw line, and that can't be good.
No.
Here's Dante Hall being pressured in the corner. Gives to Justin Stringer. Shot taken, whistle, foul call. And that's going to be Jerome Jordan. That'll be his first. But more importantly, it's a 7th team foul, and so now the Rebels are at the free throw line in the bonus.
And every single coach I talked to this week, Russ, they stress defense, but they also stress free throws. You got to make it free.
Well, let's see if he does. Kendrick McGee, free throw on the way. In and out, no good. I think I know why they were stressing free throws. In fact, they're 1 for 4 from the free throw line. So while they're hitting everything from the floor, from the free throw line, they've hit one. Here's a good look at the 5'7" sophomore. Missed it. Tigers fight for the rebound. And let's see. It will be Scott Central basketball as they step out of bounds with it. Right now, just they got to be feeling like they're snake bit. They can't catch a break here.
Right. And they're hustling and picking up the tempo. If they could go into halftime by 10 or less back in this game.
Well, they just stole the basketball. Washington comes up with it. That's a couple of 3 steals in a row. Washington all the way over. Shot for 3. Good.
You could feel it slowly changing.
Wardell Turner with a tray. 24-14, 10-point lead for the Rebels. Uh-oh, here's Wells down the middle. Misses the shot, but it whips on a foul call. Michael Wells, a 6'5" senior, will go to the free throw line.
With Kenny Barlow on the bench, I think that they should go inside the Wells a little bit more.
And he will go to the free throw line. There's a good look at him. 6'5" senior. Has he signed anywhere?
Defensive end for Alcorn next year.
Football.
That's correct.
Here is a good shot of Wells coming down the middle. Yeah, the foul committed there by Wardell Turner. He just leaned into him. All right, let's see if the free throw shooting woes continue for the Rebels. This one on the way, no good. It sounds like to me like it's a partisan crowd here for SB Marshall.
It's going one way to allow SB Marshall to get back into this game.
1 for 6 are the Rebels at the free throw line. There's one way to quiet this crowd, and he just did. Wells 1 out of 2. 25-14. Shot for 3, partially blocked, and a foul going to be called, and that's going to send Wardell Turner to the free throw line to shoot 3.
You want to contest the shots, but at a three-pointer, you don't want to foul it.
No, you just want your hands straight up, don't you? I mean, you don't want to lean into them at all. So Turner will go to the free throw line. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Free throw good by Turner. He'll get 2 more. He now has 4 points. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, he just got him on the arm just as he let go of the ball. Second free throw good. Well, that's how you get back in the ball game.
Of course, we knew both of these teams were very competitive, and they beat some pretty good ball clubs in order to get here. 2 teams that was number 3 seed. That means they beat number 1 and number 2
wow.
to get here.
So the 1 seeds aren't even around in this tournament.
Not around.
Third free throw good. 25-17 now. Scott Central leading. You see a good shot there, Coach Gray. And here's Dante Hall. Has the ball knocked out of his hands. Scramble. And a timeout call by Scott Central. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to go in the half. 25-17 Scott Central. And Cheyenne, I think what has turned it around for SB Marshall are the turnovers that they're creating off of the trap.
Exactly, and Coach Milton Ray used some very quality timeouts. You generally use timeouts to either give quality instruction or stop the other team momentum, and I think he used them for both, and you can kind of feel it kind of changing. And right now the pressure's going to Scott Central.
Well, and I think also the absence of Kenneth Barlow in the ball game kind of helped the Tigers get back in it. Barlow on the bench with 3 fouls.
Sure, and as bad as, the fans want to see Barlow get back in the game, Coach, he got to keep him out to the second half.
Well, let's take a look very quickly at some stats. Scott Central still shooting 83% from the floor, but the Tigers have upped theirs to 25%. But look at the free throw line for Scott Central. 2 out of 7 for 28%, and Marshall's 5 out of 7.
Right, and Scott Central has 13 turnovers.
Ooh.
That's not too good.
Imagine that'll be addressed in the locker room.
Must.
Michael Wells with the basketball off to Dante Hall. Here's the shot from the corner. It's up, no good. Wells fight for the rebound, and they're going to whistle him on the... No, the ball goes off the hands of Michael Wells and out of bounds. So the Tigers again. That is only the second field goal attempt this quarter for Scott Central. So the Tigers have slowed it down. Shot blocked and a foul called inside. Well, you know, if you got a team shooting 83% from the floor, the one thing you can do is not let them take those shots.
Right, get to them. Right now, things are beginning to flow for SB Marshall. They're hitting some perimeter shots. That's allowing Scott Central to extend their defense, which creates some open inside opportunities.
Well, free throw is made. Let's look at the replay here. Bradford dumps it off underneath. Take your pick. The foul was committed. Baker hits both. 25-19. Don't look now, but the Tigers are creeping in. Here's the trap. Wells has the ball picked off and knocked out of bounds. Well, the Rebels dodged a bullet there.
Right, and it seems as though this half-court pressure is presenting the problem for Scott Central.
It really does. They didn't start the game that way, but when they got down big, they came with it.
When Barlow was in the game, he was that go-to guy. Now Scott Central's got to have someone to step up.
Here's the drive by Stringer. Stringer to Hall. Hall underneath. Saved by Wells. Scramble for the ball. Hall comes out with it. Kendrick McGee hangs, shoots, blocked, and a foul call. That is the second foul on Jerome Jordan. And going to the free throw line will be Kendrick McGee.
Once again, we'll see can he cash in here on these free throws.
McKee will head to the free throw line. He's 0 for 2 today from the free throw line. This one on the way good. Well, they're getting a little better anyway.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the replay. McGee drives in, stops, and is hit right there on the arm. Second free throw. Rims out. And here come the Tigers. They can make a statement with a bucket here and make a real statement with a 3-ball. Here's the drive underneath. Nice stop. The shot off the glass is good for 2 by Turner. Nice fake by Turner. 5-point Scott Central lead. A 17-2 run by Marshall. Dante Hall. The center circle now, 1:05 to go in the first half. Hall on the drive, right down the middle. Banks it in for 2. Boy, that's clutch right there. Dante Hall now with 3 points on the day. 28-21. Rebels lead it. Underneath it goes Washington. Back to Turner, back to Washington for 3. Tip up, no good. Rebels on the rebound.
Did everything right except for finish.
McKee is going to be fouled. Ever see a basketball player that didn't agree with the call? I mean, that did agree with the call.
I'm amazed at this half-court pressure that SB Marshall is applying.
Well, it's worked. It's got it back in a ball game.
Exactly. It's almost as though the time the ball come across the line, they're attacking.
Stick around at the half. We'll be showing you some things that will be happening on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. Here's the free throw is up and no good as the free throw shooting woes continue. Second shot on the way good. Is 3 of 9 from the free throw line is Barlow. Here's Bradford, lost the ball. Shot taken from the corner for 3. Nope, won't go. Rebound, put back up and in. That's Baker. He's played really well off the bench.
Coach said that Baker was the instant points.
I believe it. Reminds me a lot of old Vinny Baker. Remember him? There's a blocking foul.
That was a foul you did not want with 2.6 seconds.
And his third foul on top of that. Turner picks up his third personal, and now they're in the double bonus. Of course, it comes with 2.6 to go in the first half. And the free throw is good. They're using all the rim today, aren't they? Use everything they can to get that ball to drop. 7-point lead for the Rebels. Hall makes it 8. 31-23, and a long shot for three is no good, and we'll end it at the half. 31-23. Rebels got out to a big lead, and then the Tigers came back. And let's think Kim's going to be getting word. Let's go to Kim Salter. Kim.
Thank you, Russ. Coach Gray, first time your boys have had a chance to make it to the big house. That's got to be a lot of pressure, but your guys look really calm. What advice did you give them?
I just tell them that if they want it, we can do it. It's just that simple. At this time here, I don't give them a long conversation. By now they're going to do it or don't. That's the way I look at it. We keep everything short in the dressing room.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I won't keep you here either. Thank you very much for your time.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Stay with us after this.
On July 15th, 2003, 17-year-old Taylor Hooton took his own life in his own room as a result of depression he had experienced following the abuse of anabolic steroids.
And don't sacrifice years of your life for 1 year or 2 years of athletic gain.
Executive Director Marie Antoon is here. We are so excited about our relationship between the Lions.
That's right. We are excited about it, not because it's just a great television show, but also what it can mean for child care centers and for the state's 4- and 5-year-olds. It's a great curriculum that we're using in the daycare centers.
And can you talk a little bit about what a fellow named Jim Barksdale has done?
Well, Jim, his wife Donna, Claiborne Barksdale, and the Barksdale Reading Institute have helped us make this a reality, not just for the kids in Mississippi, but for the kids across the country, because without the Barksdale Reading Institute support, frankly, Between the Lions probably would not be on the air.
And in a nutshell, what happens with the show once it goes into one of those reading centers?
What we do is we take the content, we kind of put it into smaller pieces, and then we help children learn to read by, talking about stories about the short A sound and songs about the short A sounds and a lot of things that have to do with phonemic awareness. And it's a tool to help teachers really drive home to children some of the basics of reading skills at a very early age.
When you go back more than 30 years to where ETV started out with educational television programs, we've certainly changed.
We have changed, and yet at the same time, we've remained the same at the core, which is trying to use media to create educational opportunities for children across the state.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have with me Dr. Ennis Proctor. He is the Executive Director of the Mississippi High School Activities Association and the man behind all of the action you're seeing out here today. You all are a busy group of people.
We've been pretty busy. I tell you what, it's been a very successful tournament, and we're very proud of the fact that we've had good attendance and very few problems. You're going to have a few when you have this many people in the Coliseum, but overall it's been a real good tournament, Ken.
And we still have a couple of games to go so people can come out and watch.
Really do. Of course, we've got a fine boys game going on right now. Tonight we have our 5A contest, and we invite everybody out. We'd really like to close off in fine fashion, and I think we're going to see some real fine basketball tonight, too.
Okay. Well, how long? We've talked a little bit. I know that this has been going on for quite a while. The Grand Slam, that's not a new concept. Is it just being resurrected?
The last Grand Slam we had in Mississippi was 25 years ago, and we're renewing that up in Tupelo, Mississippi, and have all the champions. The 5A team will get a bye this year, and then next year the 4A team will go down like that. But we should have a great Grand Slam. The people in Tupelo have worked very hard to make this a success, and we're looking forward to being up there next week as are all our teams that are the champions. This, in no way will this take away from their championship they win this week. This will just be an extension of something for them good and something that'll be good for them, and to show that display their talents up there.
And you've said it before, everybody that's here is a champion. This has been a great tournament.
It really is. This has been a great tournament and some great champions crowned here, and we'll, close it off tonight, hopefully in fine fashion.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim.
Gene, we'll give it to you.
Thanks, Kim. Getting these great athletes into college is the next step, and that's what the game plan is all about. Take a look.
In our state, we have seen over the past few years in the football arena, some of our top athletes not be able to qualify for college. And that is a waste of not only athletic talent, but academic potential. And if we can get these very talented people into our universities, they will come back. They will go to college, maybe produce on the athletic fields, but certainly will be in a better position to contribute to the economic development of our state post-college.
To remedy this situation, Cellular South Game Plan was created to help propel these student athletes into higher education through workshops and many other secondary tools.
Yes, right there. Good job. I'm able to come in and discuss the ACT preparation, Carnegie units, the various subject areas that children need to, and courses that they need to take to be successful and become eligible for NCAA clearinghouse guidelines, state guidelines, and IHL guidelines.
Well, we have a website that will be continuously updated so that, that athletes, their parents, school administrators, guidance counselors can go there and keep up with the ever-changing rules that are part of the NCAA requirement process.
I think it's an excellent program in the fact that it's making kids, if they don't understand all the rules, at least they're aware of the rules, and then maybe it can help their parents to guide the kids where they need to go and what they need to do.
Yeah, I had a couple offers, but what I'm saying, first thing they asked me is, how your grades looking, so can't do nothing without them grades.
And many times they think that kids feel that just on the athletic ability alone, they can go into a college or a university. And they've been, I guess, misled because you must have a quality education even to become a quality citizen. And I think this step that they're making here, Cellular South, I think it's a giant step.
It's great to be able to partner with Cellular South and help the students of Mississippi get to the right place for them and find that college sports experience. So for them to find that college sports experience and do what they dream is going to be so special.
31-30, Scott Central on top. A great comeback underway. We're going to go back to the game in just a minute. First, Neil McCoy is here. He is with the Grand Slam that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. It's a great event. How do you like your lineup so far?
Oh, it's great. We've got some great teams in it. We're really looking forward to seeing them next week in Tupelo.
Got some North Mississippi teams in it.
We do. We both East Hall men's and ladies teams will be in there, and I think the winner of this game will be well represented along with Indianola Gentry 4A girls. They had a great crowd here on yesterday afternoon session, so we look forward to seeing them in Tupelo.
Now, there may be some people out there who don't know what this Grand Slam is all about, who are just tuning in saying, what in the world? What is this?
What it is the 5 classification winners, 1A through 5A, will come to Tupelo and play an overall state championship. And winner take all. We'll find out who is the best of the best, and we'll crown that on Saturday morning at the Bancorp South Arena.
Many times, when I was growing up in Indiana, they threw all the teams in together, and oftentimes the little schools came out on top.
Right. It's opportunity for the Hoosier stories. Everybody knows about the Hoosiers movie, and it gives the little guys a chance to compete, and it gives the bigger guys a chance to show their stuff to the smaller schools. And everybody at this level, they just want a chance to compete, and hopefully we're giving them them that opportunity to do that.
And this has to be a great community effort with a lot of help to make it work.
Absolutely. Coldwell Bankers, our presenting sponsor, we're really proud of what they've been able to do for us, and hopefully we'll give them an opportunity to tell about the Coldwell Banker story and all the things and services they offer throughout the state. And so we're glad to have Coldwell Banker on as a presenting sponsor.
And it's been a pretty good couple of weeks for you up in Tupelo.
That's right. We had some major announcement with Toyota coming to Tupelo and the surrounding areas, and our local government's been very pleased with that, and we've had a lot of partnerships and a lot of exciting times happening in Tupelo, and we're just glad to be a part of it.
Neil McCoy, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Gene.
Good luck.
Thank you.
See you for the Grand Slam. Second half starts in just a minute.
There's a kid who may be an engineer, a doctor. We should be working on what this kid can become. Anything he wants to become. But we have to show him how to become it. Now we understand.
America's favorite father visits Greenwood, Mississippi.
Bill Cosby, Family Call Out, an encore presentation, April 12th at 8 p.m. on MPB.
Welcome back to the big house. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell. It is 31-23. Look at the replay here. This is how they got back in the ball game. The Tigers did. And right now they're not back in the ball game because they're not on the floor yet, and they've got 5 seconds to get here.
At halftime, of course, in a game like this, you make adjustments. Of course, you make adjustments throughout the game. But if you're SB Marshall, you say, hey, we want to come back out and finish just like we ended up on that run.
Well, the executive director of the MHSAA, Dr. Ennis Proctor, got to be very, very pleased with this tournament this year. Great turnout. Thought I heard him say yesterday that probably before it's all over with, some 50 to 60,000 people will come to this ball game, and of course televised all over the state on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And I gotta go on record as saying these guys who are our people, you know, we didn't hire out to do this. These are Mississippi folks at Mississippi Public Broadcasting doing these broadcasts in Cheyenne. I think the shot angles and the slow-mos and the replays, everything they do has just been top-notch.
Been top-notch and first class, and I get comments all the time, people just telling just how thankful they are that they're bringing this into their homes.
They've got a lot of good programming, too, and if you keep it here all weekend, we'll let you know about that programming. I can't wait to see that piece on the war. Here comes the Tigers, and they'll take it right into the hole. That's Bartholomew Brown. Did they call it on the floor? Wait a minute. What's the call here?
Foul, SB Marshall, number 34.
The foul is on.
Team first.
Is on Jerome Jordan. And now here comes Scott Central with the basketball.
A little change of strategy. They didn't wait till he got to half court. It's like a three-quarter court.
And here's Washington, takes it to the hole.
I think Scott Central was waiting for him to get to half court before they pressured him, and they switched it up. Now they're going three-quarter court pressure on him.
31-25. Tigers trying to get back in it. Rebels on the attack. They got a 2-on-1. Down the middle. Nope, it will not go. And the Tigers pull the rebound down in the person of Jerome Jordan. There's a whistle and a foul, and the reason the foul committed is because Terrence Bradford had him beat to the right side.
Hey, whatever was said in the halftime seemed to be working for SB Marshall.
I'm not sure they said anything. They probably went into the tunnel down there and worked on a few things. Put up a little temporary goal. Bradford will inbound it now. And does. There's the shot off the glass. It's up and good.
Yeah, Michael Wells kind of got out of position on defense at that particular time. You always want to keep yourself between the defender and the goal.
Well, now the ball knocked up in the air, and it'll be Tiger basketball. Cheyenne, this is a totally different team than we saw in the first half.
You have to wonder what did the bright lights had anything to do with it early on, because they have settled down into their game.
Well, we talk about it all the time. Depth perception in this gym, in this arena, is hard to get used to and takes some time. 31-27. Tigers take the shot inside and score. Bartholomew Brown. 30-29. Scott Central's big lead is gone. Here's Kenneth Barlow. Bounce pass to Hall. to McKee. McKee back over to Hall. SB Marshall has turned their game up. The drive in the paint by Stringer. Won't go. Rebound Washington. Here come the Tigers. And they're going to go right toward the double team. Whistle. Foul call. Nope. A timeout called. Timeout on the floor called by Marshall with your score 31-29. Scott Central will be back.
Mom, the future's here! Future's here!
Good evening. At 9:17 this morning, the future arrived years earlier than predicted. The future. What is it?
High-speed internet, faster downloads.
It's a video mail.
I mean, until the aliens get here, I'm happy with the, with the high def.
The future helps us better understand the past.
Documentaries on demand, so forth.
I have to tell you, I always thought if Johnny Mathis and Willie Nelson had a kid, it'd sound just like you.
It's Kenny Rogers singing his greatest hits. Don't miss Kenny Rogers, The Journey.
Wednesday at 8:30 on NPB.
Welcome back to the big house. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell, and guess who's shown up? The SB Marshall Tigers. And they've cut the deficit. There's the reason why right there on the replay. Bartholomew Brown, who has the ball right now, and believe it or not, the Tigers can tie with a hoop, but they cannot hang on to it.
Even though they had that turnover, you can see more motion in SB Marshall's offense now.
Since trailing by 20 points, Marshall is on a 25-7 run in this game. Ball knocked away by Brown and out of bounds. And right now, Cheyenne, it appears that the Rebels having a hard time just getting it across half court.
It is. You know, you would think that they've seen that throughout the year. SB Marshall went from the half-court pressure to the three-quarter court pressure. You got to be able to react at this stage of the game.
Well, Ray Milton has done a good job to get his club back in position. And now the Rebels will look at this half-court pressure by the Tigers. Now they'll come up and take them three-quarter.
Playing a little cat and mouse with them.
Here's Barlow. Gives to McKee. McKee underneath. Ball got away. Goes out of bounds. Now, they're letting them play pretty physical right now, aren't they?
They're letting them play, and these are the type of style games that both teams are accustomed to playing. Right now, just a little, both just kind of not quite executing.
Well, Bradford kind of took his eyes off the ball and travels with the basketball.
You're the coach, you want to be able to tell both teams. Both coaches want to say, hey, let's settle down a little.
Scott Central with 15 turnovers. SB Marshall with 12. And the Rebels with the basketball. And they'll come back top of the key. Barlow dumps it off. Here's McKee, top of the key for three. Off the iron, no good. Knocked away, but is going to be saved by, well, it's knocked out of bounds by Marshall. Good hustle.
Both teams are hustling up and down. Of course, you want to get to a pace that you are able to be comfortable with. Right now, I think, even though they're hustling, they're a little out of sync.
Scott Central on the attack now. Ball almost, well, there's going to be a foul on Brown. That's 4 on Brown. Now they've got to think about maybe making a sub here. Bartholomew Brown going to stay in the ball game with 4 fouls. Nope, he's going to leave.
Checking in, number 3, Kendrick Baker.
Kendrick Baker checks in. He had a good first half. And Brown not very happy with Coach Milton there as he comes out of the ball game. Shot on the way for the Rebels is up no good by Stringer, and the Tigers come down with it. Baker will bring it up now for Marshall. Little stutter step move, backs away. Washington from the free throw line drops it in.
This game is building up to everything we thought it would be.
It's just hard to believe that Scott Central led this game 24-4 at one point. And there's a whistle and a foul going to be assessed. That's going to go to Wardell Turner. That's his line. He's got 4 fouls. Whoa, got to be careful. Scott Central with a basketball now. 4:19 to play in the third. 2A state championship today for the Mississippi Coliseum. Here's Barlow in the paint. Nope, won't go. Rebound put up by Wells, and he's fouled.
That was a strong rebound. That had a lot to do with desire.
Yeah, Wells has got to get in there, doesn't he, Cheyenne? He's got to get in the middle of that paint.
Got to make himself his presence up in the middle.
That is the 4th foul.
At the line of 34, Michael Wells.
And on Jerome Jordan. Here's the free throw by Wells, who takes forever, seems like. But it works.
You actually have a 10-second count, but I've never seen that call.
There's the replay, and Wells goes up with it, and they got him on the arms right there. Good shot, guys. And another free throw coming up by Wells. This one on the way. Off, in and out, no good. Rebound, Tigers. Tigers will push it up now. Nice move. Shot no good. Did everything but hit the bucket.
The presence of Wells made him arch it a little higher than he normally would have.
McKee on the other end. Inside for 2. And Scott Central jumps back out on top, 34-31. Bradford with a basketball off to Washington. Washington pulls up, takes the shot. It will not go. Rebound, put back up. Nope, won't go. And the rebound pulled down by Baker for the Tigers. Here's Bradford in the paint, dumps it off. Shot, Washington on the corner, it's good. Jonathan Clay with the bucket. And it's a 34-33 ball game. Scott Central by 1.
Believe it or not, Russ, this is the pace that both teams are accustomed to.
Barlow steps out of bounds with it. Let's see who's going to have the basketball. Dante Hall checks back in now for Scott Central. Rebels will play it in underneath their own goal. And Kenneth Barlow will inbound it. He comes way outside to McKee. McKee wants to drive, dumps it off inside to Wells, and it's knocked out of bounds. And it goes off the hands of Wells out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Tigers down by 1, and they have the ball. Bradford between the circles. Wants to drive, does drive, goes right down the lane, blocked by Wells. I don't think that if I were a basketball player, I would like to take that ball into the paint and see Wells standing there.
I think he have at least 4 or 5 blocks this game.
Here's why. Look how high he is. Here's a shot by Baker. Got it for 3. Baker has played really well, and it's the first lead of the night for the Tigers. They lead at 36-34. McKee, in and out, no good. Rebound, Bradford. And a foul going to be called on Wells. That's kind of a useless foul there because the rebound had already been gathered in.
Right, that's one that you didn't want. Now we'll get a chance to tell a little about the character of Scott Central with them being behind for the first time in this game.
Be sure to catch the excitement of the City of the South Bailey Howell Trophy presentation live right here at MPB Monday, March the 26th at 7 p.m. See who's going to be selected the best collegiate basketball player live from the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. Here's the shot put up. No good. Put back up is good. Jonathan Clay. And Wells comes up limping. 38-34 Tigers. Can you believe it? Scott Central got a dazed right now looking at a 2-3 zone defense. And they can't get it inside right now. Here's Barlow. Flips it right side to Stringer. Inside it goes. Whistle. Jump ball. Possession arrow in the direction of the Rebels.
Yeah, Coach Gray got to settle his team down, especially Wells here, to make sure you still play up under control. Let the officials go ahead and call the game.
1:38 to go in the third. Rebels will come way out. Ball picked off. Baker, coast to coast, lays it up. No good. Tip in, no good. Tip in, no good. Tip in, no good. Tip in, no good. And the Tigers come down with it. Did I mention they missed any of those shots? Baker with the basketball now. The Tigers will flip it into the paint and come back out to Bradford with it. A little over a minute to play in the third. Washington out by the timeline. Going to be trapped. And the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball. 5 shots on goal, and they come away empty-handed.
Look at 5. He was for the subs. 5 fresh bodies in here for the remainder of this quarter.
You see it right there.
And see, even though it's a minute on the clock, in reality, he's going to be able to rest him about 3 to 4 minutes over there. So
because of the timeout.
Exactly.
So the Tigers will play it on the side. Washington will inbound it. Finds Rufus Head. Head gives to Kenneth Green. Green between the circles. Backing in, now wants to drive. Here's a shot put up by Robinson, missed, and here come the Rebels. Barlow on the baseline, puts it up and is hammered on the way up. Take your pick of Tigers.
That was great coordination to catch that ball and get it to the basket.
I'd like to take a look at that one again. Oh yeah, we're going to. Here's the drive. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to go to number 10. Washington, that'll be his first. Barlow at the free throw line, missed it. And Barlow will get another free throw here.
This is a fast-paced game, and remember now, all 5 starters are sitting on the bench for SV. You have to wonder how that's going to play out in the fourth quarter.
Barlow with another free throw coming. This one on the way, no good. Tigers on the rebound. 35 seconds. Well, if Scott Central loses this game, they'll know exactly where to go to find out how. The free throw line.
Exactly.
Tigers with the ball. Of course, we got a whole quarter to play. And the Rebels have led in this game at one point, 24-4. Here's the drive. Rufus Head puts it up. And that will be a foul call with 12.8 left to go in the third. The foul was, that's the second foul on McKee. Inbounding it'll be Dennis Weatherall. And the Tigers have 12.8 seconds to squeeze off a shot. Rufus Head with the basketball, back outside to Kenneth Green. Whistle and a pushing foul charge to the Rebels. That'll be the third foul on Dante Hall.
You got to have the presence of mind of the clock. That's a foul that you did not want with 6.5 seconds to go in the quarter.
Kenneth Green will inbound and does. Takes the give and go. Takes it strong to the hole. Misses the shot. And that should end it. It does. That will end the third period of play with Scott Central down by 4 to SB Marshall 38-34. Let's go to Kim Salter. Kim.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Russ. I have with me from SB Marshall, first of all, the principal. Now, this is Principal Tori Jackson, and this is your first year as principal at that school. This is pretty exciting stuff.
Yes, ma'am. It's real exciting. We're riding this energy right into our state test.
And I guess you brought a little luck with him as the new guy. Brought a little luck with him as the new guy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look, we really want this to carry over into our state testing. We've done a lot of preparation. The coach, he's taking the kids to church and everything, and a lot of them have come to Christ. It's our time. It's our time.
Congratulations on being here. We're very proud for you. And also the superintendent of schools, Mr. Stephen Bailey. You ever seen anything like this, sir?
No, I haven't. I'm very excited. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm excited. We've got a lot of teams up here today. All the schools, Rebels in here. community, parents, and the whole community supporting us today. I feel real good about it. They're going to help us when our state testing. We have teamwork, whether it be football, basketball, and help those test scores. So I'm excited for being here today.
Well, thank you for your time. I think they're ready to play. So, Russ, back to you.
All right, Kim, thanks a lot. Brian Eubank telling me during that time out there that since the Rebels scored 24 points, SB Marshall's gone on a 34-10 run.
And he had a chance to rest his starters for about 3 to 4 minutes, which may be to their advantage in this fourth quarter.
Tigers with the basketball, and the ball stolen by Scott Central, and a timeout called right as he steals the ball. That's smart heads-up play right there. We'll take a timeout. 38-34. We'll take a timeout and be back with more in a moment.
Hello, I'm Gene Edwards. MPB gets the majority of our funding from the state legislature, but about 49% of our budget comes from corporate underwriting, individual contributions, and other sources. And that's why we host fundraising campaigns to ask for your support. When you make a contribution, we have some great thank you gifts to send your way. You can see all the great pledge gifts when you go online to mpbonline.org or give us a call, 1-800-390-4388. Thanks for supporting MPB.
Welcome back to the Big House. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell. Here's a stat for you. Scott Central started the game 7 for 7 from the field, but since that time they're 5 of 13 for 39%.
I'll tell you another stat. SV Marshall has 12 points off the bench. Scott Central, none.
Whoa.
And a lot of that have to do with Kendrick Baker.
Yeah, he's really provided a spark for the Tigers in this ballgame. Actually got him back in it. And now the Rebels will have the basketball on the steal. They got to be in shock right now. They were up 24 to 4. Now they're down 38-34. There's a foul going to be called on Baker. That's his second.
And one thing about it, the officials are consistent. They've been calling the hand check all game.
That's the 1-and-1. That's the 7th team foul by the Tigers, and that'll send Barlow to the free throw line. And if he's trying to make a living from the free throw line, he won't want to make a living from there. First one on the way, no good, and controlled by the Tigers. Mississippi Public Broadcasting wishes to thank Penn's Restaurant and Catering by George's, and Hamill's Home Cooking for their support in bringing you live coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South Basketball Championships. There's the basket put back in by Jonathan Clay, who's been very, very quiet, but has 6 points for the Tigers. And it's the biggest lead of the night for the Tigers. 40-34. Dante Hall dumps it off. Here's McKee for 3. Got it.
A much-needed basket.
That's huge. That is huge. 40-37. Tigers lead it by 3, and they have the ball. Here's a nice pass. The lane is there. The shot missed. And the rebound pulled down by the Tigers. Baker to Washington. Washington to the hole for 2.
They've made up their mind. SB Marshall is going to take the ball to the basket.
Here's McKee. Blocked and picked up by Jonathan Clay, and a travel violation. Oh, I don't know, Cheyenne. I don't know. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see that again. That was close.
These young men are so athletic and so quick that the officials have a split second to make a decision.
Sometimes too quick, maybe. Rebels will throw the inbounds pass. And they're working now with 6 minutes to go in the game. And there's a blocking foul. Coach Milton can't believe it. Now let's take a look at the foul. He's got it now. Here's Baker. Yep, they moved into him and draws his 3rd foul. Boy, the officiating in this tournament has been unbelievably good.
It has been.
Free throw on the way from Stringer. He got it. 42-38. SV Marshall leading, 6:05 to play in the game. Good look there, Justin Stringer, the 5'10 junior. Second free throw, missed it, and the rebound, Washington. And a foul going to be called on Wells. Wells doesn't like the call. Scott Central from the floor is from the free throw line is 8 out of 20. 8 out of 20.
Can't win the big ones like that.
Mississippi Public Broadcasting's coverage of the MHSAA Cellular South State Basketball Championship is made possible in part by the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. Here's Bartholomew Brown back in the ball game, playing with 4 fouls. And here's Washington. Slides, glides, blocked by Wells. Picked back up by Brown. Bartholomew Brown going to be called a whistle. 3-second violation on SV Marshall. Boy, they were set up for the shot, too. So now here come the Rebels, and they'll look at pressure on the ball. Dante Hall. Back over to McKee. Ball knocked up in the air and stolen by the Tigers. And they can't get rid of the ball. It's picked back off. Washington underneath. Shot is up and good. Baker with a bucket. 44-38. Tigers lead it. Barlow underneath. Shot no good. Foul call. That time the Rebels beat them to the other end, Cheyenne.
They are. And SB Marshall is committing at least 3 guys in the front court up there. They got to be able to make the diagonal pass down court.
Don't forget, tonight we'll have the 5A state championship game right here on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. The girls at 6 and the boys to follow. Free throw is good by Justin Stringer.
15 Wardell Turner.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Look at Washington. Little flips the ball, no look pass. We're going to be selecting a Cellular South player of the game. I like that for the play of the game. Free throw up and good by Stringer. 4 points separate these two teams with 5 minutes to go. Tigers with the basketball. Washington. Cross court. Back to Brown at the top of the key. Brown looking inside. And Bradford backs away. Bradford back out to Bartholomew Brown at the circle. Here's Washington underneath. He got it.
Russ, for SB Marshall, 14 players have touched the court in this game, and for Scott Central, only 7. So we're wondering how this energy is going to play out here towards the end.
Here's Dante Hall, takes it strong to the hole, but will be fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. I'll tell you the way Washington has played in this game, that he's kind of getting a look-see from me for the Cellular South player of the game. Free throw up and good. Free throw is good. And he'll get another shot. This one on the way, good. 46-42.
I think for the first time they're picking up pressure.
Tigers will break that pressure by throwing the basketball. Bradford into Washington. Washington has the ball stolen. Dante Hall picks it up. Hall weaving in and out. Gives to McKee, back to Hall. Shot for 3 on the way. Good by Justin Stringer. 46-45. Tigers by 1, and they've got the ball. Here's Bradford, spin move on the baseline, and he's going to be fouled. No, he's going to be called for traveling. Checking back in the ballgame now, Jonathan Clay for the Tigers. Checking out is Corderio Ollie, and a timeout call by the Tigers. With their score, 46-45, Tigers will take a timeout and be back in a moment.
The dogs are red hot at Scottsfield. Ruby Hall had a ball. Friends you know hanging out at the depot. So step on into the morrow. Step on into the morrow.
46-45, SB Marshall on top over Scott Central. Russ Robinson along with Cheyenne Trussell. 3:42 to go in this basketball game. Still anybody's ball game.
Anybody, and at this part of the game, you want focus. You want to continue to execute. Every possession counts.
Marshall has put up 52 shots in this game. Scott Central has put up 23 shots in this game. So they've had to shoot just about twice as many shots to get the lead. Rebels will bring it up now, down by 1. And the SB Marshall will bring with pressure. Here's Barlow, and the ball got away from him out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball. Barlow might have just gone ahead and taken that one strong to the hole.
Right.
Tigers will inbound it. Baker, who's come off the bench and played very well. And will push it up the floor now. Here comes the trap. Ooh, really close to half court. Baker gives to Bradford. Spin move by Bradford. Shot on the baseline is good. His first bucket of the night. And what a time to get it. 48-45. Tigers lead it. Here's the pass, McKee, and a foul going to be called on Bradford on the other end.
There was a such thing as a good foul. That was a good foul.
Yes, he was going straight up to the basket. So going to the free throw line will be Kendrick McGee. You know, we got a microphone up there by that basket, don't you, Cheyenne? And it just picked up the thud, and we've got a sub coming in now for Marshall. It's Jordan back in the ballgame. And by the way, congratulations to him. He is our scholar, Sound Scholar athlete. And he comes from SB Marshall High School. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Right now, here are the Rebels with the steal. McKee. Inside. Shot. Barlow into and a foul call. Offensive. Offensive on Barlow. That's his 4th. Like the call, don't like the call.
I don't know. Hey, he was closer than I was, but I tell you, that was a big call.
Well, let's take a look at it here. He's going to, yeah, if he hadn't leaned, he probably would have gotten away with it. 2:48 to go in the ball game, and the Tigers will play at the length of the floor. Baker's coming out for some reason. Now he'll go back in. Barlow fell on the floor. And with 2:48 to go, the Tigers will play it and look at full court pressure. They inbound it to Bradford. Bradford over to Bartholomew Brown. Now back to Baker. Baker. Oh, man, almost lost that ball. Bartholomew Brown off to, there's a shot in the paint, a traveling violation to Bradford. Boy, this game's had about everything, hasn't it?
It has, and I still think it's going to come down to being able to execute the free throws.
Oh, I do too. Here's the pass underneath. Nope, foul. And that's why you just said that. That is 5 fouls. On number 34, Jerome Jordan, and our Cellular South Scholastic Award winner will foul out of this ball game. Number 34, Jerome Jordan. Meanwhile, Justin Stringer will go to the free throw line.
At the line for the Rebels, Justin Stringer.
These are big. Did I mention these are big free throws? First one on the way. Got it. And he'll get another one and can tie the game with a free throw. Here's the shot is good. And we are tied. And here comes Washington back to the ball game for the Tigers. They need him offensively, Cheyenne.
They do. Tell you, you're going to see Scott Central still apply what's called a little soft pressure and hope that they can force a turnover.
There's the pass to Bartholomew Brown. Brown, got away with using that elbow. The ball picked off by the Rebels. And scrambled for the basketball. Washington steals it back. What a play by Washington. 2 minutes to go in the basketball game. Tied at 48. Brown to Bradford. Lost the ball. Picks it back up. Boy, the Tigers have dodged 2 bullets. And a timeout called. With 1:51 to play, you can see Coach Ray Milton there. Let's go to, in a minute, we're going to go to Kim Salter.
Thank you very much, Russ. I have Billy Thompson with me, Assistant Director over at the High School Activities Association, in charge of band festivals, choral festivals, and all that's coming up soon.
Yes.
When's that going to be?
It's going to be held at Pearl High School April 11th through the 20th, and the choral festival will be held April 4th and 5th.
And a lot of great participation in that, just like you do this. A lot of people turn out.
Oh, yes. Quite a few people, and we're just really excited about the increased participation we have this year.
All righty. Well, we'll let them get back to the game action, but thank you for your time. Russ, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. 48-48, Cheyenne. What do you think it's going to come down to?
Well, you look at SB Marshall, they have 10 fouls, so the next foul, that definitely will give them automatically 2 shots. That's Scott Central, but you want execution. You don't want to beat yourself at this stage of the game. You don't want any silly fouls. You want to make sure that if you have to foul, it's a foul to stop you making a bucket.
Boy, you look at Darren Gray right now, you think he's just sitting there watching a ball game or something. He's in it.
Yeah. These coaches have done a great job of preparing these teams.
1:51 to go. You can see Coach Milton right there. He's not sitting down.
I don't know if either one would sit down and remain there the game. He may kneel down, but not sit down.
Don't forget, we're going to be selecting a Cellular South player of the game and a Cellular South play of the game coming up right after the ball game. You'll want to hang around for that. It's got a couple of good candidates for both. Tigers with the basketball now. 1:47 to play. And let's see what they do. I'm saying they're going to put it in the hands of Washington. Bartholomew Brown backs away, gives to Washington. Now back over to Kenneth Green. Green goes left side. Brown, shake and bake move, dumps it off, misses the shot, got his rebound, stuck it up and in. That's big time. Bartholomew Brown only has 3 points, but those 2 were huge. Here's Michael Wells. Wells off to McKee. McKee in the paint. Hits the runner. 50 to 50. I wouldn't go anywhere. Bartholomew Brown is fouled on the play.
Well, he knew he had a foul to give.
That's going to send him to the free throw line to the 1-and-1.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't have one. That is 4 on Dante Hall.
And that was not a smart foul.
Yeah, because it looked like Bartholomew Brown was a little out of control right there. Brown will go to the free throw line. All he's got to do is hit one. But he's going to have to hit that first one. He is 1 for 1 from the free throw line today. He missed it. Picked back up by the Tigers. And a whistle and a travel violation charge to the Tigers.
The officials are right there on top.
I mean, they're on it.
Of course, at these games, they have to raise their level of calls also.
Rebels now with 51 seconds. Here's a cross-court pass. Almost got away from the Rebels. Barlow with a little finger roll. Has it. 52 to 50. Bartholomew Brown has it all picked off. And a bucket, no good. And a whistle and a foul going to be called. And that's all for Barlow.
That was a possession in which Kendrick might have should have pulled the ball back out or passed it to Wells.
That is it for Barlow. He's done. Washington will go to the free throw line for Marshall. Did I mention these free throws are big?
Important. SB in the past have had some success whenever Barlow has gone out of the game.
Washington has not been at the free throw line today. He'll be shooting the 1-and-1. First one on the way, good. And a timeout called by Scott Central. They wanted to think about it. That's really a good move by Darren Gray, isn't it? I mean, he got the timeout here. He wants Washington to think about it. You've got an odd number on the scoreboard right now. All right, let's try to go into these huddles now and see what the coaches are saying. Well, there's Coach Milton giving his instructions. Coach Gray giving his.
Great camera angle to see. Yeah,
nice having those microphones in there, isn't it?
Oh, yes. A chance to see what actually goes on in those huddles, and of course, it's quality instruction.
All right, Washington will get a chance to tie the game, and you know we've been doing these things a long time. 20 seconds can be an eternity. Someone else will score.
Oh, no doubt about that, and probably be placed back on the free throw line.
So now Washington will head to the free throw line. Don't forget tonight the 5A games coming up on Mississippi Public Broadcasting at 6. And the boys to follow at 7:30. Don't miss those tonight here on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. Washington at the free throw line. It is away. It's good. And a timeout called by SB Marshall. And we'll take a timeout with them. Tied it at 52. Back in a moment.
There is a wonder that springs from being in the presence of a great river. It comes from deep within our soul, this instinct that a river is somehow sacred, an integral part of life. This is Gerald McRaney. Join me for the story of Mississippi's Pascagoula River, one of the last significant rivers in the United States, free to flood and recede with the seasons, its waters flowing with the rhythms of nature.
April 26th at 8 p.m. on Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
52-52 with 20.5 seconds to go. What stat jumps out at you?
16 points off the bench for SB Marshall. Of course, they playing a lot of young men, whereas still no points off the bench for Scott Central.
75% from the free throw line for the Tigers, 53% for Scott Central. 9 of 12, but Scott Central's gone 28 times in this game. And now they've got 19 seconds, and they're taking their time. Obviously going for the last shot. Tigers will come with some pressure. 10 seconds to go. Dante Hall, 7 seconds to go. McKee will pull up for three. No. And that we will go to overtime.
Is it safe to say this is our first overtime game?
It is. It is our first overtime of the tournament. And you kind of had a feeling. And let's go down to Kim here as we get ready to go overtime. Kim.
Russ, thank you very much. I just checked up on the rules to make sure we had it right. It's a 4-minute quarter that we go into with overtime. And from what I understand, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Russ, this can go on all day with 4 minutes each time.
I'm going to agree with you, Kim. We could be here all night.
Well, we said that these teams mirror each other, and of course, in the regulation, we're all tied up. Of course, each team will get additional timeout in overtime, plus get a chance to keep the ones they already have.
I'm going to ask you, did you like Scott Central's plan with 20 seconds left to go?
It's one of those where if it worked, it was well. If it didn't, you say, how come you didn't have enough time for a rebound? That's right.
So now we'll put 4 minutes back on the clock and we'll go into overtime.
Now, Russ, you still have to ask yourself this substitution. You know, how much energy would Scott Central have left with only playing 7 guys as opposed to 14 for SB Marshall?
Yeah, and remember now, Scott Central going without Kenneth Barlow. He fouled out of the ballgame. Wells controls the tip. I think Wells kind of becomes your man right now for Scott Central. Here's the shot for 3 off the iron, no good. Control by Washington. Boy, Washington's played a heck of a game, and there is a travel violation by Washington. So the Tigers turn the ball over. And the Rebels will play it in underneath. 3:47 to go in overtime. Justin Stringer has the ball knocked out of bounds by Washington.
Yeah, they're going to have to be patient. Scott Central needs to let the ball go in the offense and make sure it goes through Wells' hand.
52-52 here in overtime. Dante Hall over to McKee, and there's a foul by Washington. That's 2 on. That's a 2-shot foul. Excuse me. It's a first on Washington. They are in the double bonus. And McKee will go to the free throw line. Washington will hurry and get back for rebounding. Here's the 2-shot foul coming up from McKee. Got it. Coach Gray there looking a little bit more relaxed, but not much. Second shot on the way. Got it. 54-52. Tigers down by 2, but they've got the ball. Bartholomew Brown has played a great game today for the Tigers. Over to Baker. Baker's played really well off the bench.
Oh, yes. Coach said he was the instant offense for him.
Baker trying to find someone open. Here's the pass into Bradford. Bradford will pull up, takes the shot, doesn't go. Fighting for the rebound, and the Rebels come down with it. That's big. Hall will now give to McKee. McKee leans in. And what's the call going to be?
I think it might be a block. He's very fortunate on that because I think McKee was a little out of control.
That is the 4th personal foul on Kendris Baker. And going to the free throw line will be Kendrick McKee. He's been deadly here in this second half, but he misses that one.
You cursed him.
I'm sorry about that. Here comes the replay. McKee. Yeah, they got him on the arm. Rims out. So the foul does not hurt the Tigers. But I think they're going to have to put that ball up. And they do. Oh, a 3-ball by Baker.
Instant offense.
Boy, does he remind you of Benny Baker or what?
Yes.
And a whistle and a foul going to be called on Baker. That's 5 on him. He's done.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
That's bad. That's tough.
That's a foul you didn't want. But on the other side, Scott Central got to convert on that free throw.
So So a 55-54 Marshall lead with 2:36 to go in overtime. And going to the free throw line will be Dante Hall. First one on the way good. Hall is perfect on the day, 4 for 4. And he can put Scott Central ahead with a free throw. And does. 56-55. Scott Central in overtime. Both of these teams trying to win the 2A state championship here at the Big House. Glad you're enjoying this one today on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. Bounce pass to Brown. Right side it goes. The drive. Hangs, shoots, scores! That is Turner with a bucket. Here comes the pressure. 57-56. Tigers by
close
one.
at 10 seconds. Russ, you have to have that clock running in your hand.
And he didn't. And let's see, we got a technical foul here. We do.
Technical foul has been assessed against SB Marshall. Number 1, Bartholomew Brown.
That's Bartholomew Brown. And that's going to foul him out of the ball game. Wow, is that big?
That's extremely big.
And they were going to get the ball.
Especially with Baker out.
Yeah, now that's a great point, Cheyenne. I don't know what he did or said. But Brown is out, and now your 2 point guards are out. And going to the free throw line will be Dante Hall, who hasn't missed any today. Here it is. Got it. Ties the game. What a huge mistake by Brown. Second one good.
Scott Central has possession of the basketball following the technical foul.
So now, on top of that, the Rebels will get the ball. How devastating is that technical?
Oh, that was a big blow because it changed momentum of the game. Went from being up to going down. You Scott Central, you want to take your time.
Ball is knocked down by the Tigers.
That's exactly what they did not do, was take their time.
Tigers come up with the basketball. Remember now, they don't have either one of their point guards in the ball game. 1:40 to go. Tigers down by 1. Kenneth Green dumps it off. Shot by Washington. Nope, won't go. Nobody there but Rebels on the rebound. McKee is going to be, the ball almost picked off. I think he got away with a travel there.
They probably put him on the free throw line. They're going to reach for the ball, maybe even commit the foul.
Here's McKee all the way in. Missed the shot. Shot block. McKee probably can't believe he missed the shot. I can't believe he took it to the hole. Here comes the replay. Yep, he got him.
Shooting 2, number 3 for Scott Central, Kendrick McKee.
Here's Kendrick McKee from the free throw line. Can really do some damage with a pair of free throws. First one up, good. Second one up, good. Well, the Tigers need a 3-ball here. Baker lost the ball, picked up in the paint, scramble for it. And a timeout call by Scott Central. We'll be back. Well, hang on a second. We're going to hold it right here. And with this timeout, let's go over to Kim Salter.
Yvette Brumfield. She's the athletic director at SB Marshall, and it's your first year in that position. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the fans and the parents and the boys you've been talking about.
Well, the fans and the parents, the administration, everyone has shown us a wonderful amount of support. We're just proud of our boys. We're proud to be here.
Well, I know this is an exciting game for you guys.
Yes, it is. We work really hard to be here. We deserve it.
That's right. Thank you very much. Good luck to you. Press, back to you.
Thank you, Kim. And 53 seconds left to go in the game in overtime. How huge was that technical foul, and how many times do we see a technical foul change the course of a game?
Yes, especially at this late stage of the game itself. Of course, if you're Scott Central, you just got to kind of take your time. You don't want to just try to run too much clock and get, kind of clumsy with the ball. On the other hand, I think SB Marshall is going to look to steal, if not a foul, probably without about 40 seconds to go.
All right, McKee will take the inbounds pass, and he will wait and flip the ball over to Dante Hall. Over to Michael Wells. Back to McKee. McKee dumps it off. And they're going to probably foul McKee. The ball underneath. Put up by Wells. That is the fourth foul on Jonathan Clay. And Michael Wells will go to the free throw line.
And he'll use all 10 seconds to shoot it.
He is 2 for 5 from the free throw line, is Wells. This one on the way. Rims out. He'll get another. He's the one that the Tigers wanted to foul, that's for sure. And his free throw on the way. Nope.
And that's good as a defensive stop.
Here comes Washington. Tigers got to be thinking 3. They lost the ball, but they got it back. That's a heck of a play by Washington. Bradford had the ball knocked out of his hands. Picked up, put up by Clay. It's good. Clay with 8 points. It is a 60-59 ball game. Now, Cheyenne, you got 17 seconds to go in overtime. You're going to have to put him at the line.
Yeah, the first thing you want to do is try to get a quick steal. If you can't steal, make that play on the inbound, then you want to foul. Right now, they're probably talking exactly which one they want to put on the free throw line.
All right, let's go into the huddle and listen in.
What Coach Ray was saying, hey, let's go for the steal. If we don't get the steal, we got to foul.
You heard that?
Yes, I did.
There's Coach Ray right there.
Now, the next part is to see if they execute it.
17 seconds can be a lot of time, but you know what? We ended the first half like that, and the use of the clock didn't really work in their favor. Scott Central will play at the length of the court, and they'll inbound it. McKee.
Got to draw a foul here pretty soon.
McKee lost it off his foot, but got it back. Flips the ball. It's going to be stolen by Marshall. They'll dump it off. Shaw put up, and a foul call. A 3-foul call. Unbelievable.
That's the one thing that you did not want.
You know, when Washington got the ball, he had plenty of time. He didn't even have to take that shot. At the free throw line, Rufus Head, of all people, because he hasn't even had much time in this game.
Oh, he has the chance to be the hero in the headlines of all the papers tomorrow. Let's see, can he execute?
He's not been there today. Shooting 3. First one on the way. No.
That's a lot of pressure for a young man.
Well, he's got to make one to tie the game. Second one on the way. No.
Coach might want to call a timeout.
Yeah. He will be shooting one more for the tie. I agree with you. This This is a lot of pressure for a young man.
Coach Ray realized that he's struggling at the free throw line, so he's sitting in a taller guy, and hopefully he'll be able to put rebound back in if he should miss it.
Third free throw. No! There's a foul. That's it. Ball game over. Scott Central wins it.
It's amazing how quick the game can change.
Well, wait a minute. Is the game over?
Well, if not, Scott Central still will have the ball. They may look at the monitor, but they will have the ball.
There's a discussion going on right now. Ball game over. Scott Central wins it. Scott Central is your 2A state champion.
Very unfortunate that one of these teams had to lose because they was both well prepared for it, and it went right down to the wire just like we thought it would.
Kim's getting in position to get a talk with the coach. There's Coach Gray right there. What a ball game. Scott Central in overtime.
I think we may see some more games like this later on this evening.
I know you're right. Let's go to Kim, who's got Coach Gray. Kim, go ahead.
Wow, what a game and what a finish. How did you get through this last overtime here?
I can't hear you. What you saying?
I'm sorry. How did we get through this overtime here? You all were so calm and collected.
Just kept a lot of power. Our young kids just stepped up. Sure did. We missed some free throws. We should have hit, but we hit enough to win. That will make it count. Yeah.
Congratulations. It's been the first time ever, I guess, that you brought it home.
Sure, yeah. I'm happy.
Congratulations. Go be with your team. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Russ, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Our player of the game. Coming up, the Cellular South player of the game. Right now, I want to remind everyone that the Cellular South Scholar Athlete was Jerome Jordan from SB Marshall. So congratulations to him. Neither of these teams, either one of them could have won this basketball
Right, both
game.
teams showed a lot of heart, and I tell you, especially Scott Central only playing 7 guys opposed to SB Marshall playing 14 throughout the game, and Scott Central just a better team today.
All right, they're going to call McKee over, and I think Kim's going to get a word with our Cellular South player of the game. Oh, she's trying anyway. All right, Kim, take it away.
Thank you very much. Kendrick McGee, I tell you what, that was an awesome game. Congratulations. Let's look at that award there. Congratulations on being player of the game. You know, a dumb question. Overtime, a lot of excitement, but how are you feeling? How's this feel for your community?
I'm feeling good for the community. Everybody down, you know what I'm saying, back towards our way. But we made it out #1. I want to show everybody. Scott Central #1.
First time ever, too.
First time ever for the boys winning anything at Scott Central, so we're very proud to bring it back home.
Congratulations. Y'all played a great game. Thank you very much. Russ?
All right, congratulations to McKee, who is our player of the game. And I thought that as we take a look at, let's take a look at McKee a little bit here. I thought he made the players around him better.
He did. He's like the coach on the court.
And there he goes, driving the lane and puts up the shot over the much taller player. I just thought he had a very solid game. And here he is again. They're going to flip it over to him on the left side. There's a 3-ball on the way. Boom.
And he the one kept everything intact when Barlow had fouled out the game or when they had to take him out within the first half. So now they got a trophy just like their neighbor Forest High School to match.
Well, there is Michael Wells with Coach Gray. And we'll be coming up with the Cellular South play of the game here in just a moment. And again, our congratulations to the Cellular South Scholar Athlete winner, Jerome Jordan from SB Marshall. SB Marshall receiving their second place runner-up trophy. And the cheers you hear are for the Rebels of Scott Central. They win it today in overtime. What a job. I'm telling you, I'm going to enjoy ordering this game, and I'll tell you why. I think the last 5 minutes of the ball game and then the last 2 minutes of overtime was as good and high-intensity basketball as you're going to see.
It was, and it's a tale of two tapes. At the beginning of the game, you never thought it would end up like this after the first quarter. Of course, SB Marshall showed a lot of heart and character to fight back in this game. And then it was a time in which Scott Central could have laid down. So it's evenly just like we thought it would be, Russ.
Don't forget, we'll be coming up with a Cellular South play of the game here in just a moment. And Kendrick McKee is our Cellular South player of the game.
And they have just a short time to rest before they go to
Tupelo.
That's correct.
Well, you know, you look at the stats of this ball game, and finally the Scott Central Rebels started hitting from the free throw line, and it really helped them win the ball game. And isn't it ironic? And poor Rufus Head, I mean, he didn't get many minutes in the game, but he got in there with a chance to hit free throws. And he'll remember those, and he'll be back.
He will.
We're going to take a timeout. Final score is 60-59. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment.
What makes someone a great athlete?
It takes more than just talent or your picture on a trading card.
It takes respect, not just for yourself and your teammates,
but for your coaches, officials, and everyone around you.
Competing is about more than just what happens between the lines.
It's about playing fair.
A sense of pride in your effort.
Regardless of the outcome.
It's about playing with respect.
There's a look at the Scott Central Rebels and the gold ball that they will take back to Morton, Mississippi, Forest, Mississippi area. And let's go to the Cellular South play of the game now. And here's Kendrick McKee, who will take the inbounds pass and lean in and put the shot up. Now, I tell you, that is a great play. Nice selection, guys in the truck. That's our Cellular South play of the game. He just went coast to coast and leaned in against the much taller players. And also now, congratulations to our Scholar Athlete winner today, the Cellular South Scholar Athlete from SB Marshall is Jerome Jordan, who fouled out of the ball game but played very, very well. And there's a look at Scott Central, your 2A state champion. And we'll be carrying the 5A state championship tonight. It'll start at 6 o'clock, and the boys will follow thereafter. And, of course, anytime you've got Murrah in one of those games, especially a girls' game, it's going to be a good one. If you got Provine in a boys' game, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be wild. We'll wrap it up here from the Big House and remind you to come back tonight at 6 right here on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. Final score 60-59. Scott Central, your champion. So long. Road to the Big House. Mississippi Public Broadcasting and the Mississippi High School Activities Association present the MHSAA Cellular South Basketball Championships, sponsored by Cellular South.